hello, hello. How about now? Can you hear me now? I hope that's okay because it did look like it was muted. Hopefully we have the sound now. Sound good? All right, peace. Thanks. We got our guy Scott Young in the building. All right. Red turns heads. Appreciate you all for joining us. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into a knockout brunch where we go ahead and pit two of our players that a lot of people are pretty high on. We pit them against one another because these will be some of the key decisions we will need to make in order to have some success. Maybe you get an edge by picking the right guy, or maybe both of them do well. Who knows? But either way, we're going to go ahead and pit these guys up against one another here at GAB Sports, and one of them is going to get knocked the fuck out today. So we'll go ahead and do that as we come to you after the break, and we're also going to jump into at least one draft, possibly two. So go ahead and hold tight, as we will be right back after this intro.
I read the board like maps, 3 moves ahead, no cap. You draft on vibes and dreams. I built my league from scratch. My bench got hidden gems. Your roster full of names. I spot the league before it shows, then pour salt on the game. I trade like a casino, flip risk in the gold. You chase last week's fireworks, I chase the box score code. I know the soft matchups, I know who fades in the rain. I turn a sleepy Sunday into a money train. Check the line, I'm locked in. Every we got teeth. You bring a hot take, I bring season long receipts. I got the crown. Draft day, I run this town. Stack my wins, cash my clout. Say my name when lights go out.
It's your boy YUUNGMOOLAHH, man. All right. Thank you for hanging in there. And we will go ahead and get to our knockout brunch where we pit two guys heads up against one another. And before we do that, though, we want to go ahead and announce a subscriber goal that we are trying to achieve here. And we can only do that with your support. And so we have a goal of 300. I believe we are at 112, 113 now. And we definitely appreciate all that have come in and joined us. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. Tell your friends all about us, and go ahead and smash that like button. But once we get to 300 subscribers, which we have a goal to do by the end of this best ball draft season, then we will go ahead and release to you, the community, our week 1 DFS picks, which we are ahead of the game for sure already. We can feel it. And we got some ideas already. I know the pricing is going to be a little soft. It always is week 1. And so we will release our top DFS plays as well as our NFL picks. And go ahead and check out the archives from last year, as we did some playoff picks for our NFL predictions. And we did a DFS season of NBA and NFL basketball here at GAB Sports. You can check that out, as we will continue to do that. But that's just one thing we wanted to go ahead and get in here. And so, yeah, there's a lot of guys in these first 8-9 rounds who people have a lot of interest in. And it comes down to some of these are going to be some key selections where you're going to need to make maybe the right choice on a player or two in certain rounds. And today's knockout brunch is actually one of those. And so we want to go ahead and, hey, what's happening? TSP Falls, right? That's the name. Your username. Tiana's H. Sayers. All right. We want to go ahead and welcome everyone coming in. And yeah, we want to go ahead and jump right into this. And so I think it's coming down to these two guys are a crossroads for me. I know that I've had difficulty kind of determining who is the better pick, but we dug into it a little deeper this weekend by go ahead and giving our projections for the season for these two teams. And the question becomes, which offense is going to be the most consistent, right? Because we can lean towards one way right now, but a lot of people didn't lean towards this particular team last year, and they came out and surprised, right? So who's to say that they won't do that again this year? And so we have our first contender in today's knockout brunch will be coming out of the red corner, deep down in the desert. He comes to the NFL with, a good pedigree, right? Top bloodlines. And he's failed to live up to those at this point, right? But in today's matchup, he might have an edge, right? It's just all depends upon what we think right now. And so in the red corner, coming in at a 6'4", 210 svelte pounds, we got Marvin Harrison Jr. for the Arizona Cardinals. And the thing about the Arizona Cardinals, do we know who's going to be the quarterback? I hope we do. I think I do, right? They can't go into the season with one of these rookies or some inexperienced, no-name backup, right? They got to give Jacoby a little bit of extra money. And so we think that'll be tidied up at somewhere along the way. But Marvin Harrison Jr., interesting guy here, right? Because he came in with a lot of hoopla, a lot of fanfare into the NFL, right? And right now he's coming in at a ADP of 68.6 over here on Underdog. And it's in his third year, right? And remember when we used to play the redraft leagues years ago, at least from our perspective, this is what we used to always do. The third year guys at the receiver spot were always the dudes you wanted, right? For the breakouts. Every time you'd be looking at the third year guys, you'd be like, man, it's time for him to shine, right? He hasn't really put it all together yet, but this is that third year. And this is kind of what's in play for Marvin Harris Jr. He hasn't really put it all together. He showed some good flashes year one, but ever since then, Kyler wasn't really connecting with him that well. And then when Jacoby Brissett gets in there and starts moving the offense, this guy gets hurt, right? So he never really got a chance to really do what we think he can do in the NFL level, but he's also kind of not been living up to the expectations on his end either, right? It seems like he just doesn't have that, to me, that dog in him, right? That makes me want to just say, man, this dude is definitely going to do it. So there's still some questions lingering about Marvin Harrison, but let's look at the upside. He does have that top pedigree and the bloodlines, right? His dad's a Hall of Famer, so that is a positive that's going for him. And does he have that motivation to succeed in that they have invested a lot into this guy with the high draft pick, and they're basically counting on this dude, the organization, to be able to deliver on that promise, right? And so does he have that motivation to succeed? And that's something I think you should have as a top pick, and I believe it's in there. Let's see if it can come out. And if it does come out, that can basically allow him to kind of reach that ceiling that we've come to expect from these kind of top picks, top 4 or 5 picks. You got to just come in and light it up in the NFL. Otherwise, why are we drafting you that high? So I think that motivation is gonna be there, and hopefully it is. But I'm looking for that to happen. And the offense should move the ball. If they do sign Jacoby Brissett, because I wouldn't play on a contract that he has right now either. If I was Jacoby Brissett, as I'm a starting quarterback, and you're trying to give me $8 to $9 million a year, that's not the starting quarterback salary. You got to give me at least 25, 30 million. So I can understand his perspective. And I think they'll eventually work that out. And we have a new play caller and one of the LaFleur brothers. I don't know his name, Mike LaFleur maybe or whatever. Matt, one of them, Matt's, I think he has one in Green Bay. So this is Mike LaFleur. And so that type of a pedigree in the play calling in the offensive system should go ahead and allow this offense to move the ball, because they do have quite a few weapons over here in Arizona. So I think they'll be able to get up and down the field, which will put them in peak positions, prime positions to score some touchdowns. And so those are the things that are really working in his favor. But on the flip side, having all those weapons could be somewhat of an albatross, right? I mean, because you got Jeremiah Love, they just added. He's going to need to get the ball, right? They added Tyler Algier in free agency. And then they have Michael Wilson, who came on last season in the absence of Marvin Harrison. And they have one of the top tight ends in the league in Trey McBride. So that can also go against you sometimes, having all those mouths to feed. And another thing that we want to look at is that offensive line any good over there in Arizona? We don't know, because last year the running game stunk because, a lot of those guys got hurt in the backfield. The offensive line kind of underperformed as well. So we got to see if there's going to be an improvement in that offensive line that could hold back this offense if they aren't getting much protection. And it's a new system, right? New role. How do we know what the pecking order is going to be with this new coach, right? Coming in, he might say, hey, man, Michael Wilson is pretty darn good. Maybe this guy believes that and sees that, and maybe he gets a pretty substantial role. So those are some of the questions that could limit the downside of a guy like Marvin Harris Jr. this year. But all in all, he's a very talented guy, and I look for him to be on the come this season. And so we have our projections here at GAB Sports, where we're giving him 68 receptions for 972 yards and 7 touchdowns, which would be pretty decent season. Nothing spectacular, but he could outdo this, right? Or he could do less. This is our median projections here of what we believe is likely to happen. And so I think it's one of those things where it can go either way with this guy. He can either knock this out of the park and get like 1,300 yards as in a true breakout. He might just say, hey, I'm the dude. I always was the dude. I'm the alpha. Give me the rock, and just be a target hog, commanding targets. That could be an outcome. Or he can go into his shell and be that introverted kid that we've seen so far and just kind of, shy away from the moment and not really command attention and just go with the flow and get 65 catches, 850, something like that. We know that's a part of the range of outcomes as well. But all in all, I think it's looking pretty good outlook here, because I think this Cardinals team will move the ball a lot better than what most people are expecting. So this is the case we've made for Marvin Harrison. And now, ding, 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 in the blue corner, coming from the boys down south, Duval. I don't know how they say it, but Duval, whatever it is. Duval. Yeah, the boys from Jacksonville. And they got a lot of talent over there too. But this young guy came on in his 3rd season last year. And he's coming in at, this guy's built like a running back. That's one thing people don't really realize about this dude. This dude is really compact, and that gives him his yak because, he returns kicks and stuff. So coming in at a very compact 5'11", 205 pounds, built like a running back, runs like a running back after he catches the ball. We got Parker Washington from your Jacksonville Jaguars. And he's coming in at a 67.4 ADP over here on Underdog, which is maybe one selection ahead of Marvin Harrison. That's why this is a great comparison to make, because this could be one of those selections, whether you take Harrison or Washington, that could determine some advance rates. Hey, it's not out of the question. You make the wrong selection here of a guy who disappoints and the other guy explodes and crushes his projection, that would be the wrong choice, right? So a lot of times, people are just going to split it down the middle, take one sometimes, take one the other time. Do we have the guts, any of us out here, to ride just one of these dudes and just say, the other one, I got to see you. You got to show it to me. I'm passing on you this year. Do we have that courage? And that's what we are analyzing here. So coming in his fourth year, Parker Washington, he came on last season and had a pretty darn good performance in the absence of Travis Hunter was out, right? And also BTJ underperformed pretty much all season long. And so that gave this guy ample opportunity to succeed, and he took advantage of that. And so we got to give kudos to him. And in the process, he opened up some eyes, because I had a little bit of interest in Parker Washington as far as like in DFS and stuff last year. But as far as best ball, I had very little shares last year because I didn't see the opportunity, right? With Travis Hunter there, BTJ, I didn't think this guy would get much of an opportunity. But once he did get the opportunity, he showed something, right? I mean, this guy wasn't just, hey, a fill-in and just out there just doing something because he's getting an opportunity. This dude was cooking. He became the number one dude on the team when he got his opportunity. So I think this is a legit guy, because he was drawing coverage of the top dudes. And in the biggest games, he played pretty well against some top corners. So I'm believing in the talent of a Parker Washington, right? And so, because being a dual threat, right, a return guy as well as a receiver, sometimes these guys get a marginal role in the receiver position as they're kind of developing, right? You think of Rashid Shaheed, right? This guy came in as a great returner, right? And then they start increasing the role here and there, but they don't truly get that full-time kind of wide receiver role. But if they did, they're showing glimpses of what the possibilities are. And so a guy like Parker Washington heading into this fourth year might just be on the brink of getting a very substantial role. And so some of his upside revolves around him being a versatile chess piece, in that he can line up all over the formation. And the fact that he also is in the return game means that he can maybe get some of those jet sweeps or some of these manufactured touches where they just get the balls in his hands and they go ahead and let him cook. So being a versatile chess piece is part of the equation for this guy. He's on a loaded offense, meaning they have quite a few weapons and in a system that should be favorable to move the ball, right? The quarterback, he's on the rise. Is he on the rise to start him, or is he just going to kind of peak at what he showed you last year? I think there's a chance this guy still has some room to grow. That's Trevor Lawrence, and to become one of the elite players at his position in the league. I think there is a possibility that can happen. And so if that happens, he's going to take some of these guys with him, right? And his head coach, Liam Cohen, is a top play caller, we've come to find out. And some of the downside that we also have to consider, just like Marvin Harrison, there's many weapons that they're going to need to please over here. Many mouths to feed, right? They got the backfield. They got BTJ. They got Jacoby Myers. And the tight end, Brenton Strange, is not chopped liver. And then we also have the question of, will Travis Hunter have a sizable wide receiver role? That's still in the balance, right? We don't know. And that's a possibility that could put a little damper on the upside here of a guy like Parker Washington. And also, does he have some red zone limitations, right? He's not the biggest guy, right? But that could be something that could get in the way of his touchdown upside potentially, in that the red zone targets may be like Brenton Strange and BTJ could be the favorable red zone guys, right? Whereas Marvin Harris Jr., guy like 6'4", is definitely a red zone target for his team. So that could be one of the things that limit his upside. But we have a pretty darn good projection for our guy, Parker Washington. We're thinking that in the end, I don't believe Travis Hunter will get much of a role here unless someone goes down. I think he's going to be much more needed on the defensive side of the ball. So we have 74 receptions for 958 yards and 7 touchdowns as our projection for Parker Washington this season. So we've made the case for our guys here. Let's see if we can put a poll in here on the chat. Let's see if we can get a poll together. I think we can. I think we can. Let's see. All right. Because I want to go ahead and get you guys' thoughts on this as well. Let's go ahead and check it out. Oh. It's not allowing me to do it. Thought I could. Or maybe I don't know how to do it. Create a poll. Let's see. All right. Anyway, go ahead and chime in the chat with your pick on who you believe is going to be the guy here in this battle between Marvin Harrison Jr. and Parker Washington. You can go ahead and chime in here on the chat. Pick your guy, and we'll go ahead. And so the guy, we're going to just go ahead and make our pick right here, right now. And it's a close battle. I have to admit, it came down to the final round. It was a 12-round scheduled championship bout. And they exchanged haymakers throughout the fight. Yeah. One guy got staggered. Oh, the other guy came back with a counter, right? And we're in the final minute of the 12th round. And oh, out of nowhere, he throws a crushing uppercut to the chin. And it's no other than the hungry guy on the block. We're going to go ahead with Parker Washington with a knockout in the 12th round here of Marvin Harrison Jr. And so Parker Washington is our pick. Yeah, and our exposures, which we are not going to divulge, but I will just tell you this. Our exposures between these two dudes do indicate that we ain't just capping over here. We don't do any cap, no fillers, no fluff here, GAB Sports. So we do have Parker Washington, much more shares than of Parker Washington than we have of Marvin Harrison Jr. So Parker Washington scores the KO victory here in our knockout brunch battle between the two wide receivers. This will be a key duel, a key decision that people will need to figure out. We already chose our side, and we hopefully it's the right one. But I mean, I don't dislike Marvin Harrison. I do have some shares. I will probably be even with the field, but we're going to be well above the field on one Parker Washington. I think this is a guy who's real. It's legit. And so we go ahead and take a stronger position above the field with this guy. All right. So that being done, we'll go ahead and appreciate you guys' input. Go ahead and chime in the chat who you think you have, or who do you like better, Harrison or Parker Washington. We're going to go ahead and jump in a draft. We're going to look at a Chihuahua. Yeah, let's just do a Chihuahua. Yeah, we'll jump in a Chihuahua draft right here. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a countdown. So let's go ahead and do this, Brutus. All right. So let's go ahead and add to the stage our draft screen. All right. So let's go ahead and count this one down as we're going to go jump into a Chihuahua. All right. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're entering the Chihuahua right now. All right, there's 4 more spots. If you want to go ahead and get in this Chihuahua, appreciate you all for coming on in. All right. We got Tiana, he says, and the intro is fire. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, we did a lot of work on that one. And have an extended one too, but I think I can only play about a minute something of the intro here. But one of our new songs that we have, we got a little bit of cherries in here. Wow, did we get the streamers luck? We got the number 1 pick. We got the number 1 pick. Don't see many people in here, but that's okay. If you are, go ahead and shout yourself out. We got Legion here at the 12 spot. And we are at our number 1 stunner spot. I haven't really liked the number 1 spot lately. I mean, it's okay getting that first pick, right? Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan, but to me, that second, third turn has gotten kind of ugly. Yeah, I'm not digging that second, third turn anymore. I think it's one of those dynamics where I won't mind switching up, pulling up some dudes who I just want to maybe get some correlation with, because the 2-3 turn to me has gotten not very valuable, right? Because everybody's going to almost have the same thinking right there right now, and I don't like that when everybody's going to get kind of the same combinations over and over. They're at the 2-3 turn. It's like Rashee Rice, Nico Collins, Pickens. You're going to get 2 out of those 3 dudes almost every time are there. Jeremiah Love. I mean, it's the same picks that are there. And I don't think there's a big drop-off between the rest of the 3rd round, actually. So that can cause us to do what we do, mix it up a little bit. And I think that's not a bad thing, to go ahead and mix those up. Thank you for joining us. We also want to invite you all to go ahead and help us reach this 300 subscribers goal, road to 300. And we want to go ahead and provide to you, if we reach this goal, a service free of charge, right? We're going to release our DFS Week 1 picks and our top picks for NFL games free, actually free for Week 1. If we reach this 300 subscriber goal, let's go ahead and do that. How many picks are we away? We are, 19 picks away. Let's update this. We're at 113 now. 113 subscribers. Appreciate each and every one of you. Come on in. Spending time with your guy, YUUNGMOOLAHH here. And we are in this Chihuahua. Yeah. It's the Chihuahua time. All right, let's go ahead and add a little background here. Hopefully the mic won't get distorted for too long, but sometimes it gets distorted when I throw on the background music for just a little bit. Here, we want to go ahead and see what we're going to do at this next pick here, right? All right, but let's go ahead and add the draft. I'm going to add the grid here. We're coming around the middle of the 2nd. Guy Legion on the end to Cook and Saquon. I have CTE. I pray that you do not. That is nothing to mess around with if you have CTE. I think Brandon Ayuk might have a little something there. This guy is just going off the damn reservation, man. What, you just burnt the last bridge that you had working for you, which was Jaden Daniels. You want to go after him and his mama after they treated you like a son? This boy is cuckoo. Yeah, I don't know he's got something going on with his brain, man. For him to just burn all the bridges like that. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I am off the Brandon Ayuk train. I don't think I got much to begin with. Maybe 2% at most, maybe 1%. I was never really buying it, but I'm definitely not buying a single share no more. This guy is nuts. Nutcase. All right, we're going to go ahead and rock Devonta Smith. It's one of the picks we want to pick here. And we're going with Breece. The Breeceinator. Breece Hall. Let's add a Breece Hall share. And hopefully our guy, he ain't not my guy, but just hopefully this guy, this dude, Aaron Glenn, doesn't decide to run some committee backfield over here in New York after you just went and paid Breece Hall a ton of money to stay. What did you pay him for if you're going to run him into a committee? Hopefully this guy gets the memo and uses Breece Hall as a 3-down back because he's more than capable. He's got the size. He's got the receiving chops to be a 3-down workhorse kind of a guy. You know, let these other dudes come in and get like 20% of the pie, 25%, but don't do those 60-40 type stuff. It'll be ridiculous. You want to win games and save your job? Tuck the ball into Breece Hall's arms and watch the yards pile up. They got a good offensive line there. So we hope Breece Hall comes through for us here with this selection. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Devonta Smith. Let's see our guy Legion starting off with 2 backs. Let's see what he does on the 3-4 turn. Bayou Bingo, what's up, my good dude? If you aren't subscribed to our guy Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network, he's one of the guys who's always out here in these streets, always doing good things, good work. Appreciate you, my dude. Subscribe to his channel. All right. And yeah, so we got the early stages of our Chihuahua draft. I don't know how many Chihuahuas do we have. This is a 25 entry max. Let's see, we got completed. I think I got about 10 probably. Let me see. Chihuahua. What? This is on my 6th one. Oh yeah, we're gonna rip 2 of these. We're gonna rip 2 of these Chihuahuas here today, live on stream. 2 Chihuahuas. We got it. We're good for it. All right. It is Sunday brunch, knockout brunch, and so we're getting a little bit of snacking in here, and didn't get a chance to eat breakfast this morning, so we are going ahead and eating our fruit. As I hope everyone had a safe and exciting, entertaining 4th of July last night. I didn't do much. I just kind of stayed around the house and listened to the commotion around me. Because we got plenty of people around the neighborhood that like to try to set up their own little shows. Wasn't as dramatic as it has been in the past. But, you know, a lot of things still happen. And, you know, she didn't want nothing to hit the house because I can hear it coming and touching the house and all that stuff. Because a couple years ago, a guy lost his house in my neighborhood due to some fireworks. Yeah, the house caught on fire, burnt the house down. I'm like, man, that's crazy. All right, we're on the clock. I better get back in the draft room. I had left the draft room for a minute. Who we going with? We're going with that guy. We got J-Mo. We want Coast and Loveland. Yeah, we do. We're building it in. The Chicago-Detroit correlation. 2 Detroits, 1 Chicago. Let's go, week 17. Yeah, with the absence, or with the, not absence anymore, he's just gone. With the release of cornerback Terry and Arnold for doing all that dumb shit, yeah, Detroit's defense will, I suspect it'll be weakened by this loss, right? And so that week 17 matchup against Chicago is looking better and better. It's potential, fireworks in that game. So we are loading up on that one with this draft here. And we'll see how it plays out. We're going to go ahead and lean into that one pretty heavily. Looks like. So we got 3 pieces already. Maybe more to come, potentially. Yep, we'll see how we do it as the draft unfolds. Here on GAB Sports with your guy, YUUNGMOOLAHH. Yeah, we also have a show tomorrow. Yeah, we coming at you back-to-back shows. We will want to put the schedule up real quick just to show you what we have coming up on deck. We have midnight Mondays. Tomorrow night, 11:45 p.m. Eastern, 8:45 p.m. Pacific, where we come in and draft a BBM right out the gate. Yeah, we don't come mess around. On Mondays, we come in and draft a BBM. And Wednesdays, we have our Machiavellian Thoughts, where we come in and talk about different topics. Last week, we were on the Terry and Arnold situation. And we have something pretty interesting you might not want to miss coming up for this Tuesday. And Fiesta Fridays, where we bring in our guests. And we've reached out to a few people. And that should be interesting as we have a guest coming up. I'll go ahead and tell you that at the end of the show today. And we also have what you're watching right now, Knockout Brunch on Sundays at 1:45 p.m. Eastern, 10:45 p.m. Pacific. So that's our show schedule for the week. We come at you 4 days a week here at GAB Sports, and we give you plenty of drafts, plenty of commentary, and we ask that you come in and go ahead and give us some dialogue, right? Yeah. Please smash that like button on your way in, as we certainly appreciate your support. All right, we got the 6-7 turn coming here. And the 6-7 turn is looking rather fruitful right about now. Yeah, it's looking rather fruitful right about now for us. Let's see if it can remain that way. There are certain guys we definitely like here. And should we do it? Do we do the double? We're not going to double. We are not going to double. We're going to go ahead and tap one of these guys. That'll be this guy, Caleb Williams, and Quentin Johnston, known as QJ. I don't love tapping QJ this high, actually, but in these time box contests that are going to be over in a couple weeks, guess it's okay because his ADP is what it is at this point, because he's risen so high in the BBMs that I'm very reluctant to tap him in the BBMs at this cost, because he started off at like 110, 112, right around there, and now his ADP, as you can see, is early 70s, 75, 76, and that is just a very steep climb with no news, right? It's not like they're missing somebody or anything like that, like somebody got hurt, somebody got traded. They actually added somebody since he started climbing, which is Njoku. And so it's weird. Are people really thinking that McConkey might be on the shelf for a bit or something? Because I can't see what's causing this rise here for QJ. It's not warranted. He should be priced somewhere around 90 something is what I'm guessing. 94, 95 should be his price. He should be going after Herbert, because you already have Lab McConkey who's a bit pricey in my mind too. I think he's a little steep. He did fall here a little bit in this draft, but McConkey should be around 45 to 47 in my eyes. He started off around 36, 37. And then, because you have 2 tight ends, and then you got Trey Harris, who's the wild card, right? We don't know exactly what Trey Harris's role is going to be on this team. He could very well have a decent kind of role here, right? To where he could be on the field as much as anybody, because he could be the guy that's in 2 receiver sets almost all the time because of his size, and that he's a true X, I believe, whereas these other guys are more flankers and Z's and motion guys. So the 2 receiver sets, a guy like Trey Harris could be on the field almost all the time, so he could be on the field and get more snaps than all these guys. So we don't really quite know how the distribution of snaps and targets is going to go here. And so for QJ to be at such a lofty price, it's almost like we just are just giving him the number 1 role almost, because I think both QJ and McConkey, they should start, if they're going to be like this, then they should start to get even closer together, where McConkey should fall some and QJ should rise some if they're going to continue in this kind of manner, because we don't know which dude is going to be the number 1 dude, right, out of the 2, if we're banking that this is indeed the case. But for just QJ to rise only, that doesn't make sense to me. But a lot of stuff doesn't make sense, and we just got to interpret it and react how you want to react. Do we do this? Do we lean so far into it that we can't get out? Do we do it? Lean on into it so far that we can't get out. We got 2 running backs. Yeah, we haven't done this yet. We're going to just go ahead and do it. We're leaning all the way in. We're just going to stick our head all the way in through that peephole, and we are going to go ahead and check it out. Oh, what? What happened? What happened? I can't believe this guy's available, though. Trevor Lawrence is available still. How? How did this happen? I think I'm still going to pass, because we are just going to lean into the Detroit-Chicago game. So we're going to give somebody some value here. Trevor Lawrence could have taken him, but I tend to like Trevor Lawrence with one of his top receivers, and I don't have either one. So we'll go ahead and give somebody a little gift, because we went with the Detroit-Chicago full game stackola for the payola. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do it, man. I don't have a problem doing it every once in a while. I don't have any builds like this. And for this contest, sometimes you got to just be a little different for these time boxes. So we're leaning into it. We got Jared Goff, Gibbs, J-Mo, and Laporta. And on the other side, we got Caleb Williams and Colston Loveland. Maybe another pick to come. Possibly. Who you say? It's a couple of candidates. But it could be still to come from that game. Could be. Could have taken Monanga even, but I didn't really want him. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and stick with what we got so far. Laporta, Loveland. We might not even need another tight end right there. I think we're good on tight ends. Unless someone is a big faller or something, but even so, I don't think I need to get a tight end. That room's pretty strong there. Spent a lot of capital, so we'll go ahead and rock with that one. If that one can't get me there, then it wasn't meant to be. Yeah, once you spend a lot of capital on some of these positions, if it doesn't get there, then it just wasn't meant to be, because now you're just going to be overloading. So I don't really understand why people be spending these capital like the quarterbacks. they'll get like 2 quarterbacks in the first 8 rounds. If you got 2 quarterbacks in the first 8 rounds and you still need a third one at some point, I don't like that strategy at all. If I got 2 in the top 8, I'm done. If y'all can't get me there, then it wasn't meant to be. So I just think the build looks a lot stronger with the 2 quarterbacks in the first 8 and no more quarterbacks than tacking on like a Aaron Rodgers for just some reason. Nah, not doing that. But go, feel free. Please keep doing that. Because I like going up against those kinds of builds. I think I'll have an edge at the flex position against most of those teams. And so I'm taking 2 strong quarterbacks. I'm done. Y'all just better get me there. So we may be done with these 2 quarterbacks as well. But never say never. Goff is one of those guys that he's always performing well, but he doesn't scare you. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those dudes that if I'm going up against Goff in the last round, I'm not like worried, but he's just one of those dudes that's pretty solid and pretty consistent. So we will not rule out a quarterback here because he's not one of the dudes I was considering being one of those guys that you can just roll with. It ain't him. Wasn't referring to him. We're going to go ahead and pull this guy up. Definitely pulling this guy up. We are all over this guy right about now. And let's see what else we want to do. Do we want a running back? Do we want a running back? Yeah, I think I'm going to take a running back here. We'll hedge one of our bets that we're making. Because we have tons of Rachel Tootin, and we'll go ahead and hedge on that one. With Chris Rodriguez, maybe he gets a goal line roll. Maybe he starts. Who knows, right? He's a pretty decent back. He's nothing spectacular, but you know, he's one of those guys that puts you on schedule, right? He's not going to break off a bunch of 60-yard runs or anything. You know, he can get a 15, 20-yard gain every now and then, yeah. But he's one of those guys that's just not going to lose yards. So if Rachel Tootin is somehow getting some negative plays a little too much, then they'll turn to this guy to keep him on schedule. So that's a potential outcome here where this guy gets a pretty big piece of this pie, 55% per se, something like that at most. I'm not expecting that because we are all on the Tootin bandwagon. We're driving the bus. Yeah. We're chauffeuring everybody around who wanted to jump on side. Yeah. But sometimes you got to hedge against your own bets. And this is what we're doing right here. We're going to go ahead and hedge against our own bet. Because the running backs are starting to thin out pretty quick in this room. I noticed that. Running backs are thinning out very fast. So let's go ahead and jump on that one. Let's see what else we want to do here. On our next turn. You are rocking with YUUNGMOOLAHH here at GAB Sports. Guidelines to achieve and build. Appreciate you coming in for Knockout Brunch, where we pitted 2 wide receivers against each other in our pivotal wide receiver duel, a battle till the end, and we ended up with a 12-round knockout uppercut to the chin in the final seconds from Parker Washington as he sent Marvin Harrison to the canvas. And so we're rocking with Parker Washington in the battle today. What do you say? All right. Came around the turn here. We got our guy. Legion. Let's see what his team's looking like. Legion is start off with 2 backs. It's got a 3-4-4. Oh, start off with 4 backs. Yeah. Start off with 4 straight running backs. That would be James Cook, Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Javonte. Then he had to attack the receiver spot with 3 straight picks. Roma Dunze, Carnell Tate, Addison. Oh, I said the 7th round. Okay. Addison. Then we got Tucker Kraft, Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Stephon Diggs, and Tyler Shaw. All right. See you. I see you. We got MDK 1984, went 4 straight receivers. So did JJ 91. All right, let's go ahead and see what we need to do here on this new turn here. 1 pick away. There is a back we do like right here. And also, let's see what our receiver room looks like. There is a back we do like here, and it's this guy. A lot of people are sleeping on this guy. I'm telling you, I can see it. We hope he gets in there. It's a crowded backfield, but if he does get in there, we like this guy. There's another guy we're pretty high on. Higher than the field. We're rolling with Trey Tucker as the #1 receiver over there in Las Vegas. Not the #1 passing option because that's obviously Brock Bowers. But as far as the receiver room, we got this guy over Jalen Naylor. I think there's just a big difference in talent from this guy to Naylor. Naylor's, kind of an average guy to me. I think he was given plenty of top opportunities over there in Minnesota, either when Addison was out, things like that. This guy never really stepped up in a good system over there. He's okay, but he's just not special enough. Tucker's got some ability. So we roll with Trey Tucker, 100% over Jalen Naylor. All right, let's see what else we want to do. Did we want to add a 3rd QB? It's not going to be a pressing need, so I'm not going to sweat that one. But if there's something of interest, we could do it. We won't rule it out. Do we got any of that team? We do not. Okay, let's see what else we want to do. Put this guy in our queue. Put this guy in our queue. Yeah, so the IU situation. Anybody thinking this guy still has a chance to do anything this year? Are there any Ayuk supporters still out here? I want to understand what your take is here, because this guy is just a train wreck in progress, and I just don't get it. It's got to be some sort of mental issues, and it's to the point that it's almost sad now. It really is. Like, nobody's stepping in to intervene here and just say, hey, look here, man. The fuck are you doing? Does he have an agent? Does he have a daddy? Does he have a wife or woman? Does he have a brother or sister? Somebody intervene on this guy's behalf? He's not in his sound mind. I mean, he's just doing stuff to self-destruct. This is the perfect, clear illustration of a self-destructive course. It's sad, actually. So I gotta imagine there's something wrong mentally here. Mental health is not a joke, so I'm not making light of it. So if the guy is having some mental issues, somebody get him some help before it becomes too late, because people can go off the rails and never come back. It happens. We could be thinking, oh man, he's just being funny. He's just doing all that. No, he could be sick. And if you're sick, they can go to the next extreme, which is harm, right? Self-harm. So You don't want to see that happen. And so somebody got to intervene on this guy's behalf. I just don't know why it hasn't happened yet. Why are they pussyfooting around? We got Breece Hall. We're going to add this guy as well. Is Geno still available? We're going to rock with Geno, man. Since we got Breece Hall, A.D. Mitchell, we're going to add Geno. Geno and the Jets. Yeah, I know it's Benny. Benny and the Jets. We got Geno and the Jets this year. Yeah, Geno is one of those guys. He's a wild card because I think this could go really well for the Jets in a best case scenario, right? It could be one of those offenses that people are kind of sleeping on, and they can just come out. They got a lot of weapons, man. They've invested a lot of capital into their offensive arsenal along the offensive line and the weapons, right? The only thing they haven't spent money on, they spent money even on the running back, right, Breece Hall? The only thing they haven't spent money on is Geno. But Geno is more than capable of slinging that rock, man. So I'm not dismissing the Jets, man. I don't know how people are just acting like the Jets ain't going to do shit on offense, man. That's not – I see an outcome where they can easily be one of the top half offenses, top 10, 12 offense. Yeah, the Jets. So they got some weapons, man. If this guy knows how to call some plays, to deploy these weapons that they got, I mean, the Jets could do some stuff, man. In fact, you're going to be shocked when I make my predictions, because we will make our predictions too of how the divisions will play out. We're going to have a special show. We're going to do NFL predictions, and we're also going to do exposures. I only release my exposures when I'm done drafting. The contest is over. So that'll be at the end. And we also will do our breakout players in fantasy. This is all at the end of the cycle, because I'm competing just like y'all. I'm not giving away too many of my edges here of what I'm doing. So right now, come along for the ride, but we're not giving you all of that yet, right? We're here to just draft and put some strong teams together too. We want to keep some of these things close to the best and put our best teams out here too. So I'm trying to hit the home run as well. So, but we got all those things on tap toward the very end of the cycle, and we'll be at the very end. But we'll put all those out. We got some of those from last year. We got our breakouts. I don't know if I did NFL predictions and all that, but yeah, divisional finishes, all that. But just a preview, the Jets will not be in last place in that division. Right. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what we want to do here. We are on the 16-17 turn. How many backs we got? I think we need another running back. Which one do we want? Got some interest in this guy. Just in case something happens over there. Do we double up on the running backs? I think we are. We're going to double up on the running backs here. We're going to take this guy. This is just in case something happens over there in Tennessee. Because Nick Singleton, I'm here to tell you, this guy is explosive. Don't think for 1 minute that this dude is some normal 5th round pick or whatever round they picked him at. If this dude would have stayed healthy and like lit up the combine, he would have been in the conversations with a Mike Washington like kind of a dude, where people would have been looking at him. You know, we know Mike Washington still slipped to the 4th, but you saw the Raiders actually moved up to get him in the 4th. But this guy, Nick Singleton, he could have ran like a 4.3 something as well, just like Mike Washington. And this dude is what? 6 feet, 230, 225, something like that. And he could have also ran like a 4.3 something. So if one of those guys goes down over in Tennessee, or even if they don't, this dude just might come in and say, I'm better than y'all, right? It's possible. he might just come in and be just killing them in training camp. They be like, hey, man, this Nick Singleton dude better than we thought. Because he's bigger than both of those dudes, like way bigger than both of those dudes. Faster than both of those dudes. Can probably play in the passing game as well as those dudes. So the overall talent level, I like to rate talent levels when I'm looking at backfields because people are sleeping on some of these backfields, especially like Washington backfield, all this K-Tron Allen love. I'm not buying it. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is the most talented back in that backfield as far as from traits perspective. Oh, that's another show we got coming up. We're going to do traits, the traits that translate. That's what I already wrote down. But that's going to be a show we're going to do probably on Machiavellian thoughts. We'll go ahead and just talk about traits that translate. And these are the types of things we're going to be talking about. Guys who, based on their traits, can have success in this league. And Nick Singleton is one of those dudes. Yeah, he's the most talented dude, physically talented dude in that backfield over in Tennessee. By far, not even close. So don't be surprised if this dude somehow works. This is a new regime over there. They're not loyal to these dudes. Yeah, they can say that they like these dudes, who are already there, Spears and Pollard. But if another dude comes in and shows you, hey, I'm here to make some noise, yeah, man, they got to pay attention. So we like to take bets late that other people aren't willing to take, or that just, if they pay off, they can smash for us. Because a lot of times the bets we're going to make aren't going to do much anyway. So I'm going to take a bet that if it does pay off, it might smash, man. I mean, I could have a big win right here if this works. If it doesn't work, who cares? Most of them ain't going to work anyway. But if it works, you got a big win. But, yeah, we like Singleton's profile. He didn't get a chance to work out because he had a broken foot. And that kind of kept a lot of people probably off of him. To where not a lot of people didn't really know about him. All right, we are up on the last pick. Let's see what we want to do here with our last pick. We're going to rock with Ja'Day Walker. We added another piece to that Chicago Bears Detroit game. So we got how many pieces? Let's go ahead and review this team real quick. And before we jump right over into another one. All right. Best ball guy. Like and subscribe. Thank you, guy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. And we are definitely rolling with BBG. He's our guy from the West Coast. Appreciate you, my man. With the Toxic Tower. Go ahead and subscribe to BBG if you aren't already. He's a guy on the move. And so we want to go ahead and review this team real quick and then jump right on over into another draft. Okay, share this tab. Make sure we got the right thing on there. Yeah, all right. Let's go ahead and do this, Brutus. And so we are going to rock like this with a 3-6-7-2 out the number one spot. We got Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, Geno Smith. And then we went with Jahmyr Gibbs, of course, the number one stunner. Breece Hall, Chris Rodriguez, Jonah Coleman, Marshawn Lloyd, Nicholas Singleton. And our receivers, we got Devonta Smith, J-Mo, QJ, Rashid Shaheed, Trey Tucker, Adonai Mitchell, and Ja'Day Walker. Interesting receiving core. Not a lot of dudes who are just target hogs or anything, but we can see where we can get a lot of good big weeks. Hopefully they come at the right time. Kind of alternate big weeks here and there from these guys. And that's what keeps us in the game. And we're banking on that final game as we got Colston Loveland, Sam Laporta. So we're banking on that we get to week 17 with this team, that we got the game stack du jour, right? We got plenty of pieces in that Chicago-Detroit game if this team gets there. All right, so we'll see how that works out. But let's go ahead and jump into another one right here, right now. So we're going to go ahead and jump into another draft. over here. Let's take a little commercial break, though. I just want to get a little bit of stuff into my belly. So we're going to play a commercial break of a video that we also made. We got a series called Hype Monsters, if you haven't checked it out. We got music in it, as well as we have highlights of some of the dudes we may or may not be really interested in. And so we'll go ahead and play that for you right now. It's a song called Wild Cards We Play Make.
Now it's our time to pimp this game. City of cream witness a lethal pass in the tag. Charge it to the game, we keep playing. 17 weeks being my road to glory. Break it off for the buy-in. Lean on back, stack your chips on the table. Now you ready for this story? Apathy, malaise and low energy, feeling the air. To me and my dog, creep on the scene. 2 aces drafted with high hopes. Lights, camera, action. Already learned the rope. Heavy hitters in the building, watch them stare as we play. Make on this field of green. From the Bay Lane marks, get on out the way. This here major talent now on display. 2 jokers in the deck, right? 2 black kings about to chuck deuces to the sky. Since you ain't really know, let the groove hit you while I proceed to go and make this play. So now you know. Stay on the sidelines if you choose. With these cards, we ain't gonna lose. We like to boogie.
All right. There you have it. Let's go ahead and jump on into this draft. All right. So we're going to go ahead and count down here. We got our guy, Real Fantasy Football Talk. Our guy, Nap God in the building. Yeah, go ahead and subscribe to our guy. He's out here streaming streets as well. We're going to hook up. I'm going to go ahead and reach out to you, brother, for a collaboration if you're interested. And so, in fact, shoot me an email, if you will, or send me a DM or something on Twitter so I can get your contact. We're at GAB4Young. That's GAB, the number 4, YUUNG over on X. Go ahead and send me a link. Shoot me a kite so we can go ahead and link up and get this collab on display, man. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into another Chihuahua. So we're going to jump in right here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's enter the Chihuahua right now. Oh, did I get in? I don't think I got in. All right, let's go. We're in now. Waiting on 6. Waiting on 4. It's filling fast. Hopefully we got in. Those who wanted to get in. Appreciate you all stopping through. Smash that like on your way in if you don't mind. Appreciate you all, each and every one of you. Waiting for one person. I don't want the number 1 pick. Don't give me the number 1 pick. Most people are dying for the number 1 pick. I don't want it. I want like the 3, 4, 9, 10. 3. We are cool with the 3. Yes, let's rock the number 3 spot. All right, any people we familiar with in this room? Not quite sure, but welcome aboard. Anybody who's in the draft with us, who's also in the stream, appreciate you. But we are looking at the number 3 spot. I actually wanted the 3 spot too. That was right on time, Underdog. Thank you for granting my wish. We're coming in a 3 hole. We don't have a lot of certain dudes that we want a little bit more. Not to say that we're certainly going to get them here, but it's possible that we get what we want here. If not, we'll just get something else, right? One way or another, we'll get what we want. All right, let's go ahead and put the board up across the screen. This young bull is coming in the 3rd spot. Shauner Seg, Nerd Gang, The Boss Arson, Kyle Cube. All right, let's see what we got. We are on the clock. What? Nerd gang took Chase, man. You know I want to chase, man. What you doing, man? All right, we'll go ahead and go with Bijan, though. We got Bijan out of the 3-hole. We'll take it. We shall take it. No problem, nerd gang. We all right, man. You all right with me? Because we'll take Bijan to number 3, which may give us a different combination that we haven't been getting. Because there is one guy who I hope just falls just enough to this spot to give us the combination we would ideally want in this spot. All right, let's go ahead and turn on our music back on. Rock to some groovy little tunes. Best Ballin' for Life instrumental. Also, in case you happen to not be an Underdog subscriber, go ahead and check out the description. Follow the link to join Underdog, not subscriber, but to join Underdog if you already are not. Go ahead and join through our link if you don't mind. Appreciate that. It's in the description on SIGNUP Underdog. Man, these cherries are good. Got me some fresh cherries yesterday. It's cherry season. I'm a fruitaholic. Got me fresh cherries, some peaches, nectarines, all kinds of berries, blueberries, raspberries. I got 14 fruit trees in my backyard. Those aren't the ones, but in fact, I'm creating some content for my backyard as well on how to live independently, right? Be self-subsisting. So I'm taking care of my trees, doing that kind of stuff. So I'm recording these videos, and I got a second channel coming out. We'll go ahead and launch that soon. But yeah, it's all about learning how to be a little bit independent, right? These grocery store prices, man, it's killing me, man. I'm like, shoot, I might start selling to y'all. We got a bumper crop of nectarines, persimmons, Asian pears, avocados. Yeah. All right, so we coming up 2 picks away. No, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you do it, Floyd. Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's going to do it. Oh, he didn't do it. This is a combo. I want it. I got it. See, sometimes you get that combination you really want. I want a Bijan and this guy. Yeah. Bijan Bowers. Bijan Bowers. We wanted them. That was the one we were seeking. We got it. All right, let's see what we want to do here. In the third, 27th pick, Jeremiah Love would have been really good on this team. But we'll go ahead and do this. We're rolling with this guy. We're rolling with this guy. Chris Olave. Olave. It's 12 o'clock. I do want to watch that World Cup game, man. If y'all been following the World Cup, man, the World Cup is off the chain this year. I don't think people understand what they really witnessed in here, man. We are in the midst of witnessing vintage Messi. This is like his last go-round of the greatest player the game has ever seen. Arguably, right? This is like the greatest player of all time. He's at the top of his game. It's his last World Cup. We got him over. This is all here in America. We got the best player in the world for France, Kylian Mbappe. This dude is like the Michael Jordan of soccer right now. This dude got wheels. He got a dribbling ability. He can strike. I mean, this dude is outstanding, right? Then you got the big Norwegian, Erling Haaland. This dude is like a Greek freak kind of dude out there. He's tall, fast, can leap, can score. He scores like a goal a game, more than a goal a game. Every game, this dude scores. So, man, we are witnessing. You got Argentina, great teams. You got Morocco. Man, this is like the best World Cup. I've been following World Cups for since 1990 something. So it's every 4 years, just like the Olympics. And this is the best World Cup I've seen. And we got it right here on American soil. The African teams put on a show. And they had all that pageantry. They come with the instruments and all that. Then you got the Brazilians today. It's just going to be off the hook. The Brazilians know how to party. So I remember when they was here in San Jose, the last World Cup that was in America. And the Brazilians be partying all night and day. They keep it going. And they talk about, we ain't gonna say it, but they don't look bad. Let's just say that. But it's just a spectacle to see, man, this World Cup, man. You got Mexico. I mean, the fervent fan base. I mean, they get a little out of control, a little outrageous, a little obnoxious. Yeah, but I mean, it's a spectacle, man. So they're going to be playing England tonight. That's going to be something to see. But, this is World Cups, man. You got to take these in, man, because you're not going to see nothing like this again, where you got these types of caliber of players all here in one tournament, man. And it's you ain't going to witness something like this where you got Messi and then you got Ronaldo, who's kind of on his way out, too. This will be his last World Cup. His team's still alive. He's like that kind of guy you love to hate or whatever, but he's still alive. And so this World Cup, man, is off the chain, man. I'm definitely checking out that game at 1 o'clock between Brazil and Norway. That should be some fireworks. Yep. Because, see, the game has changed. It ain't the same boring old little game that used to be the soccer game. It got a lot of speed out there right now. And truth be told, they had a lot of brothers in soccer now, and that's what sped up the game. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pull any punches. Yeah, brothers is in soccer now. Just imagine if our best athletes went into soccer at a young age here in America. Instead, our better athletes go into football, basketball. They don't really play soccer, but imagine if you had the Iversons of the world or the LeBron out there 6'9" playing soccer against some of these little dudes with his kind of speed and power. Our best dudes just don't play soccer, but where other countries, that's their best dudes are playing soccer. We want a DeAndre Swift share. We don't have many of them. Go ahead and take one here. DeAndre Swift. But, soccer, man, right now is off the hook. I'm watching all these games. I rarely miss one of these World Cup games. All right, enough on the soccer tip. We are back in the best ball streets, and we are liking this little build we got going right here, too. So let's check this one out. This build is pretty interesting. We got Bijan in the 3, Bowers, Olave, Burden, and Swift, while the guy next to us who pulled up Chase is going 0 RB. I ain't mad at you, fella. That's a nice build of 0 RB. Let's see if you know how to finish the deal, nerd gang. And because when you go 0 RB, you got to know how to finish it. That's the main thing, because starting it, pretty simple. Just get 5 receivers or whatever, a tight end mixed in there, quarterback, whatever. But now, rounds 9 through like the end, let's see if you can, as they say, land the plane. Good luck to you. Nerd Gang. Appreciate you all for joining us here. Please take the time and go ahead and subscribe to our channel, as we have our subscriber goal that we want to go ahead and mention once again. Our subscriber goal, we're on a road to 300 subs. And we're right now at 113. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And if we go ahead and reach this goal by the end of the best ball drafting season during this hot best ball summer, we will go ahead and provide to the community our NFL DFS Week 1 top plays as well as our NFL picks for that week as well for free. Yeah, go ahead and put those for free because they will be behind the paywall most weeks. But if we go ahead and get this subscriber goal, we'll go ahead and release those for Week 1 for free. Go ahead and subscribe today. Let your friends know about your guy, Young Moolah here, GAB Sports. All right. Let's see what we got. We're in the 8th round, or is this 6th round? We're in the 6th round. I got too far ahead of myself. All right. So, Nerd Gang, you looking for running backs, huh? Let's see. See, this is where people block you, buddy. That's why you got to be careful doing this with 0 RB. Because a guy like me, I'm out throwing blockers. And so that was the dude I was looking at too. We got a bet on the Bears once again. So we are rocking with Caleb Williams. Yeah. We're going to take Caleb. We're going to take Caleb there. Our guy Nerd Gang, ooh, he went with a quarterback. He said, "Forget running. I'm still on my 0 RP. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, fella. You gotta take a running back here, though, don't you? You got to. This is not a choice. This is a active. I'm just saying. If you're listening." All right. I think you messed up right there. I will have to say. I think you messed up by not getting this guy because we definitely wanted this dude. I'm glad you didn't take him because I wanted him on my build. Tony Pollard. We will take him right there. I'm not really interested in a lot of these receivers right there. We just got to catch up with receiver. We're not really too worried about it. Because there are definitely some receivers I like coming through the pike. Let's see. We're going to start loading them up in our queue right here, right now. Yep. Right here, right now. All right. So, man, I want to do one more draft. I got time to do one more draft. All right. Let's see what the likes are like. Where's my phone? I don't even see my phone. Oh, here we go. Let me check the likes. We may offer a third draft. I did want to get a few more of these chihuahuas in. I thought I had about 10. I only got like 5 or 6 now. Let's see where we at on the likes. All right. Let's see where we at on the likes. Where are we at? We got 5 likes. We can double this, get up to 10 likes. We'll go ahead and get you another draft. If we can double this and get up to 10 likes. Let's go ahead and do this, Brutus. All right. I even gave one. So let's go ahead and do this like Brutus. It's a modest goal, 10 likes. Push it over 10 likes. And we go ahead and bring a third draft to you all here on Knockout Brunch, where we gave you a battle of 2 receivers with similar ADPs, and they went head-to-head in our analysis, and we came out with one guy on top, and that guy was Parker Washington by KO in the 12th round of this slugfest. Let's go ahead and see what we want to do here. In the 8th round, our guy still doesn't have a running back. Wow. Let's see. All these receivers are the same to me. Yep, they are. When all the receivers are the same, what do? We take our top running back. That's what we do. When all the receivers are the same, we going with Blake the Snake. Blake, don't be late. Blake Corum. So I think any of these receivers will get back to me, whichever one. Blake the Snake. And then we got to catch up a receiver here. Catching up with receiver entails taking a guy we really like here. And there is a guy we do like, for sure. And it's this guy. Michael Pittman, Mr. Consistency. Yeah, this guy's never going to really just, drop your jaw with something spectacular or nothing, Michael Pittman. But he's one of those dudes who'll just give you that sneaky 19 to 22 points. That'll be one of his big kind of weeks, right? And that helps you a lot, man, in certain parts of this season. Especially like if it's a week 14, 15, 16, that week 14 that people overlook, where a guy is like, hey, man, I need a big week to advance. Pittman is, one of those dudes. He give you like 20 points that week, right? He ain't going to give you 30, but he might just give you 20 exactly, which, helps you out a lot, man. In those kind of scenarios where you just need a high floor or you just need his best weeks. Coming in as my third receiver on this build, I'm going to need some of those 20-pointers. And I think he can deliver them here on this team because there's not really a target hog kind of a player on the Steelers to where this guy will be in the mix with a guy like DK as at the top of the pecking order for targets there. I think Pittman will be right there, 1A, 1B with DK. So I don't have a problem picking him there as I need to catch up on receiver, and I think he's a good value right there. Good pick. Never going to be a guy who just screams, hey, man, I'm just going to knock it out the park, but he's a very strong play. Sometimes you need those consistent dudes, not just all the spectacular dudes who give you zeros too often. He'll rarely give you a zero. A guy like Pittman. And who knows? Maybe he gets his highest touchdown year ever playing with a guy like Rodgers, right? Who's known to like those trustworthy kind of targets over the middle. He really likes those kind of dudes. And so Michael Pittman becomes like his security blanket kind of a guy. That could be very fruitful for our fantasy purposes. All right, so now let's see what we're doing here. Guy still only has one running back. Incredible. But there are some good backs coming through the pike here. Let's see what we're going to do. Do we do that? Or do we pull up a couple guys who I think are undervalued? I think, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going with Coker. Coker right here. As we have Caleb Williams as our only quarterback. So we got to set up maybe some potential later stacks. Don't have a problem doing that. Setting up a potential later stack. And I think there's a guy. Oh, man. Nerd Gang is taking all the quarterbacks. Interesting, Nerd Gang, because I definitely wanted him. But that left us this guy, which we definitely wanted this guy too. So it was either or. Push came to shove. I probably would have taken Shuck, but we're going to go with our guy, Rashid Shaheed, who I'm looking to have a much bigger role this year. I don't know how anybody thinks about taking Cooper Kupp. He looked done to me last year. And now you got them paying a guy like Shaheed a pretty decent contract. Not decent, a very big contract for his role. So his role to me has to expand, right? He's not just going to be a return guy and an occasional receiver. They got to give him a bigger role here with that kind of money allotted to him. So I think this guy's about to blow it out the park this year. Rashid Shaheed. So let's go ahead and check it out, the draft here. So our guy, man, coming in with 2 backs so far. Jonathan Brooks, Isaiah Pacheco, Nerd Gang off the 2-hole. Very risky strategy, I believe, but hey, man, hope it works for you because 2 people got to come out of this pod, right? 2 people. It's 2, right? Not 3. Let me double check. I think it's 2. We're going to go ahead and double check that right here, right now. The Chihuahua, 2 out of 12, 1 out of 9, 1 out of 6, 217 seat finale. 217 seat finale. All right, let's see where we're at on our likes, because we promised, hey, if we get 10 likes, we'll go ahead and get you another. We need 1 more like, and it ain't gonna be me. We need 2 more likes. Let's get 2 more likes, and we go ahead and deliver another draft here. We're gonna jump into it right away. No reviews. We'll jump into that next draft right after this draft, because I do want to go check out that game. And so we are bringing it to you here at GAB Sports on Knockout Brunch, our Sunday stream where we go ahead and pit 2 guys against each other. You can go ahead and check that out on the replay if you missed it, but also chime in on which guy you have as your favorite between the 2, Parker Washington and Marvin Harrison Jr. We went ahead and provided our case for each guy, which are very pretty even cases, right? Now it just comes down to which one you believe in more. And we settled with one of our guys, Parker Washington. But I won't be shocked if Harrison delivers on that 4th overall pick promise finally. I won't be shocked. It could happen, man. He could be ready to do it. Ready to do the damn thing, as they say, right? Is he ready to do the damn thing? He might be. Okay, we got a 1-4-5, 1 through 11 rounds. You're not going to take another quarterback. You simply aren't going to take another quarterback, right? I don't believe you will. So we're going to go ahead and take our tight end. We like this guy here, Chigokonkwo, because we don't think they're going to add another guy like a Brandon Ayuk over here. So since they aren't going to do that, that improves the stock of guys like Chigokonkwo, Antonio Williams over there in Washington, because I don't believe they're adding another guy. It was going to possibly be, well, most likely was going to definitely be Ayuk, but this guy that slit his own throat, man, and burnt his final bridge inexplicably. Like, what the hell are you doing, bro? You just don't want to play, huh? All right, we're going with Darnold. The bounce back candidate. Did he win comeback player of the year, Darnold? It's funny how, because he almost had an MVP year that one year. Who won comeback player of the year last year? I always get this kind of mixed up because a lot of these dudes that win comeback player of the year, nothing was really wrong with them. For them to come back from. What did you come back from? Just from being sorry, but from sucking or something? He didn't come back. Usually comeback player of the year is the guy who was injured all year, something like that, and then you came back and had a good year. But I'm trying to figure out who was comeback player of the year. Because I know one year, didn't Gino get it? And I'm like, Gino didn't come back from nothing other than come back from being sorry. So how do you get comeback player of the year, Gino? Although I want you to come back this year because you were sorry again last year. So come back this year, Gino. Help us out because I do got some shares of you. And I do got investments in Garrett Wilson, A.D. Mitchell, Breece Hall. So come back this year and win comeback player of the year. Come back from being sorry last year. That's what we want you to do. Come back from being sorry. All right. We're 11 picks away. All right. That's the wrong thing. Not that one. This one. Parker Washington or Marvin Harrison Jr. Who you got? Who you got? Who you got in today's battle? Parker Washington or Marvin Harrison Jr. Who you got in today's knockout battle? All right, we are coming in on the 14th round. Let's see what we got. Going in the likes department. I can't see the latest count. Doesn't look like we're getting there. Come on, fellas and ladies. All you good people out there. Let's get us 3 more likes and we will be able to deliver a third draft here. Otherwise, we'll call it a day and go ahead and check out our World Cup matchup. It's a doozy today. Brazil versus Norway. Yeah, it's going to be a doozy. A doozy, they say. A doozy. All right, let's see what we got here in the 14th round. Our queue has been cleared. Our queue is devoid of players. Should we get this guy or this guy? I think Debo is kind of done, man. So we're not taking him yet. Maybe if he slips a little bit. Right here, we're taking A.D. Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell. We like that guy, man. Yeah, we like that guy. A.D. Mitchell. They took Debo right after me, or soon after me. All right, we'll take Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker usually has at least a goal line role, which is fine because, getting touchdowns is big, man. Yeah. When you get touchdowns over here on Underdog and make your lineup with like 11 points, those are sometimes the difference between advancing and non-advancing, because a lot of times you'll be in leagues where the margin of victory is so small that getting those dudes who can give you the touchdown is big. Also, when you get the touchdowns, we get a chance to do this. We get a chance to celebrate doing the funky chicken like my old school partner, Billy White Shoes Johnson. Or we bring it up to the sky like Dion and did the high stepping from 40 yards out. He was high stepping while still running and they still couldn't catch him. That's how fast Dion was. Dion was sick with it. Or you do the hit him with the gritty. As your boy Just Jeff, we get to do our touchdown dance. The Atlanta Dirty Bird, the Icky Shuffle, all the great touchdown celebrations of the past. Somebody needs to come with the Sexy Dexy from Dexter Lawrence. It's not a touchdown dance, it's just a dance he does when he gets a big play or something. Somebody needs to come with something new. It's too bad they don't let the team celebrate together no more, like do a little team dance. That was a good era, man, when they let the teams do like a combined celebration. I think that you can do it somehow, but you can't use props or whatever. I don't know. Somehow they limit you. Bring the fun back into the game. When you see these dudes score these goals in the World Cup, man, they just let loose, man. They're like, hey, man, we're going to go crazy. So you got to bring fun into the games, let people enjoy themselves. We're going to rock with Gino one more time. Maybe. How many backs we got? 5. I've been getting a little bit of this guy lately. Dontavian Wicks. Because he's got a chance here, man. What if Mekhi Lemon isn't really that good? Hey, man. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not, but what if he's just not? What if he's just not that good? It's possible, right? Anything's possible. But we'll see. We shall see. Just what if he's not that good? What if? I'll tell you who I think is really good. He just hasn't been on the field yet. This guy right here. I got so many shares of this guy. Marshawn Lloyd. What if he's really good, right? He just hasn't been on the field. There's a possibility he's just really good, right? They seem to be raving over this guy in the OTAs, some of the coaches and stuff. This guy is big. This is not no change of pace kind of dude. He's not no like 5'9", 185, 195 dude. This dude's like 6 feet, 5'11", 220 with speed and can catch. What if he's just good? I don't rule out those kinds of things because I've seen a lot of football in my lifetime. And sometimes people just get an opportunity and they can capitalize on it. You know, sometimes they stay injured like he has been. But maybe he's turning the corner. Who knows? It's worth it to risk a bet this late. Low risk investment here in the 17th, 18th round. That maybe he's good. Maybe Jacobs is slowing down. Or maybe Jacobs gets in trouble. Who knows? I don't wish anybody to be in trouble, but we'll let that play itself out. See how that shakes out. Okay, we got 2 quarterbacks. Do we want to just throw in a third flyer quarterback? Not averse to doing something like that. Not averse to doing something like that. A third flyer kind of a quarterback. But let's see what it looks like here. Quarterback. What's the quarterbacks looking like here? The quarterbacks are looking pretty darn good here. In my eyes, I can go with Shador. Do I got a Cleveland player? We don't have any Cleveland love. There is a guy we don't mind just taking a flyer on this late at the quarterback spot. We don't mind taking a flyer on this guy. We're at a 2672. Because if he gets in, he can wreck shop in the fantasy space if this guy gets on the field. And who's to say he doesn't get on the field? Injuries happen at the quarterback spot too. Or maybe this guy has grown off season, and maybe the guy who did well last season is a mirage. Maybe he just had that one moment in the sun, but now he comes back to earth. We are talking about Anthony Richardson. We're adding him as our last pick here. As a flyer, as a dart, 18th round. What if? What if he gets on the field? Yeah, he can put up some points. I know that if he does. So we went with Anthony Richardson. All right, doesn't look like we're going to get another draft in. I don't think we made our goal here of 10 likes. So we are just going to go ahead and review this team and jump on out of here. So let's go ahead and do that. As we have a – hold up. Let's see. All right. Let's do it. We're going to review this team and then jump on out of here. Appreciate you all for coming through. But we have a 3672 out of the number 3 hole, which we were hoping to get Chase here, but maybe our guy heard us. And he went with 0RB in the 2 hole, but that's fine. We got Caleb, Darnold, and Anthony Richardson as a late flyer. Just a dart thrown into the wind. See where it lands. But we got our other 2 guys stacked up. We got Bijan Robinson, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, Blake Corum, Sean Tucker, Marshawn Lloyd. Oh, I like this backfield. Yeah, we got some late dudes who we really believe in, Sean Tucker, Marshawn Lloyd. And we got Blake Corum, Pollard, 2 guys that can really have a big impact on their teams. And we got 2 guys we are anchored by Bijan, and Swift is on a good team. And he adds to our Chicago stack, for which we have Olave, Luther Burden, Michael Pittman, Jalen Coker, Rashid Shaheed. We're looking for big things from him. Adonai Mitchell and Dontavian Wicks could surprise a little bit. And then we got Brock Bowers, the number 1 stunner tight end, and Chig Okonkwo. So there you have our 2 drafts that we did today here on Knockout Sunday, our knockout brunch that we brought to you each and every Sunday. Now go ahead and check out our schedule. It's in the outro. And so we're going to go ahead and sign off right here, right now. But thanks again. Subscribe to our channel if you aren't already. Go ahead and make sure you smash the like button and leave a comment. Feel free to leave a comment if you like. Follow us on social media at GAB for Young. That's GAB, the number 4, YUUNG. Thank you for coming in. Peace. We are out. And check out the schedule in the outro.
moves ahead, no cap. You draft on vibes and dreams. I build my league from scratch. My bench got hidden gems. Your roster full of names. I spot the league before it shows, then pour salt on the game. I trade like a casino, flip risk in the gold. You chase last week's fireworks, I chase the box score code. I know the soft matchups, line up who fades in rain. I turn a sleepy Sunday into a money train. Check the line, I'm locked in. Every we got teeth. You bring a hot take, I bring season long receipts. I got the crown, I got the crown. Draft day, I run this town. Stack my wins, cash my clout. Say my name when lights go out.
It's your boy Young Moolah, man.